As the new year approached, he returned to his hometown villa and stocked the garden pond with a school of piranha. In the study he placed a massive corn snake, along with a colony of tarantulas. Then he settled in and waited for his ex-girlfriend to come knocking. In his past life she had waited until he left for the holidays, and secretly brought her whole family to squat in his luxury home. They not only slept in his bed, and drank his expensive wine, but her two nephews also destroyed his entire collection of rare figurines. After the new year when he returned, he was furious to find the place trashed. When he confronted her, his ex-girlfriend Lily tried to guilt-trip him by live-streaming a fake suicide attempt. Outraged strangers online turned their hatred on him. They vandalized his business and pelted him with rotten eggs. Lily's sister even ran him down with her car, sending him flying 10 meters. Now reborn into the past, he was determined to give her a new year she would never forget. This time he would make sure she paid the price. He called his buddy overnight to move his prized koi fish to his friend's villa pond for safekeeping. Those koi were worth over 2 million. No way he was letting Lily's family ruin them. With the koi gone, the pond looked empty, so he called his friend in the exotic pet trade. He said he wanted something with a bit of bite. First thing in the morning, his friend showed up with a large tank of piranhas and 2 massive snapping turtles. He had his friend release the piranhas into the pond, and helped scatter some floating plants on the surface for cover. The aggressive snapping turtles went into a large water vat in the backyard. His friend warned him those things were vicious, a whiff of blood, and they could strip a full-grown goose to the bone in seconds. Pleased, he asked his friend if he had any exotic pet recommendations, since he would be away for the holidays, and wanted some protection against burglars. His friend immediately understood. How about a corn snake, harmless but huge, and really scary, or some harmless tarantulas? They looked terrifying. After making these arrangements, he tracked down Lily, laid out the evidence of her cheating, and broke up with her without hesitation, kicking her out of the villa, and changing the digital door locks. But as the holiday neared, she had the nerve to block his driveway. "Why did you change the passcode? I can't get in." "We broke up." "Of course I changed it. You're not welcome here. You disgust me. We were together for a while. How can you be so heartless?" "That man was actually married. I've broken things off with him now. I have nowhere to live. You'll be gone for the holidays. The place will just sit empty." Lily had been to his home before. She knew this villa looked plain from the outside, but was incredibly luxurious inside. The storage room was packed with all kinds of gourmet food. They could stay holed up in there, eating and drinking well past the New Year celebrations. "Your living situation is not my problem. You could all drop dead in the street for all I care. My home is close to you." With that, he pushed past her and went inside. He checked the video doorbell feed. "Once you're gone, I'll just have the lock picked. I'm staying in that house no matter what." Watching her smug face, he smiled, not in anger, but with excitement, because he had lived this before. He knew exactly what would happen next. In his past life, once he left for the holidays, Lily immediately found a local locksmith to pick the lock. Then she brazenly moved her whole family into his home. Not only did they empty his pantry, and drink all his ginseng to fine wine, and eat all the premium food in the fridge, they also secretly sold off the designer clothes from his walk-in closet. Her sister even took the 9 most valuable koi fish from his pond and cooked them. But the worst part was her 2 nephews, who destroyed the entire wall of collectible figurines in his study. Many of those figures were limited or discontinued editions. They were his prized collection, worth a fortune, and represented years of dedication. He returned home after the holidays in high spirits, only to find they had been living there the whole time. He called the police demanding compensation for the damages, but Lily and her divorced sister with 2 kids had no money to pay him back. They threw a fit and acted like entitled brats, saying they had no money, only their worthless lives. To manipulate public opinion, Lily even staged a late-night live stream at his doorstep. She claimed he was rich and heartless for throwing her out, and that he called the police just because she wanted to crash for a few days. Countless strangers online who didn't know the truth despised him for it. In the end, their stupidity and greed got him killed. Now given a second chance, he was ready to play their game and win. They'll make sure it's a celebration they remember for the rest of their lives. The next day, he hired professional movers to carefully pack up every single figurine from his study and transport them to another property for safekeeping, so her nephews couldn't damage them. Pack this one separately, don't mix them up, and add more foam padding. Then he had all the other valuables packed and removed, including his collection of luxury items and several antique vases from the living room. Of course, the house would look too empty, so he bought a few potted plants, specifically choosing the most toxic varieties he could find. All the toiletries were replaced with long-expired products. The fine wines in the cellar were swapped out for various types of counterfeit liquor. A rich guy with more money than sense buying fake wine seemed perfectly believable. The premium frozen seafood was also replaced with rotten fish and spoiled shrimp. They loved seafood so much, well, now they could have all they wanted. Before leaving, he had someone install Over a dozen hidden security cameras throughout the house. Behind the painting in the foyer above the staircase. Every spot needed a camera, the more discreet the better. He wanted to see everything that happened, and have clear evidence to hand over to the police. All feeds are clear. All cameras are operational. Thanks for your work. No problem, call us if you need anything. Soon after, the massive corn snake and tarantulas he ordered arrived. He secured the large corn snake in the locked study, and released the colony of tarantulas into his bedroom wardrobe. With all preparations complete, he leisurely wheeled his suitcase out the door, and placed a custom-made, metal warning sign on the front gate. Danger guard, pets inside do not enter. Trespassers assume all risk. Perfect. This way, if anything happened to them, it wouldn't be his fault. He had given fair warning, but he knew Lily and her scheming ways. She wouldn't be able to resist. She was desperate to live the high life in a luxury villa. After leaving, he headed straight for the high-speed rail station. Once on board, he immediately pulled up the live feeds from every camera in the house, including the one at the front gate. At first all was quiet, but when he checked again after lunch, the footage showed movement. Lily did not disappoint. She showed up with the locksmith from her hometown. Under her direction, the man quickly picked the front door lock. Lily was thrilled and paid the locksmith an extra $500 to replace the lock. She immediately had the fingerprint lock on the gate swapped for a cheap one, and used a knife to pry off the warning sign. Unaware that her every move was being captured clearly by the camera under the eaves, after the locksmith left, she rushed to the wine cellar and was delighted to see it fully stocked. The freezer was also packed with food. Her eyes lit up. Ah, look at all this food. My sister and the kids will eat like kings when they get here for New Year's. She went back to the living room, turned on the radiant floor heating, and settled on the sofa to watch the big screen TV. A couple of hours later she left, probably to pick up her sister and 2 nephews. Around that time his train was arriving. He closed the Jankong app, grabbed his luggage and got off the train, and followed the crowd toward the exit. The station was packed with travelers for the holiday. His brother came to pick him up, worried he wasn't dressed warmly enough, and brought him a down jacket. His good mood lasted until he got to his family home, and checked the cameras from his old bedroom. The feed showed Lily had already brought her sister, and 2 extremely rowdy nephews, Brandon and Brian, back to the villa. Her sister Chloe started gushing the moment she stepped inside. This place is incredible, your ex must be loaded. Of course he is filthy rich. He might not forgive me now, but if I stay here and refuse